Good afternoon, everybody.
After taking over as DGP of Meghalaya?
Priorities would be the basic policing, that is maintenance of law and order, prevention and detection of crime. And of course, we would be focusing on areas which we feel have the trends are much more disturbing. For example, if you look at crime against women and children, especially crime against women, we have seen rather than, despite all the efforts that we've been making over the years, there has been no decline. There has been, in fact, an increase. And we would like, well, we have tried to reach out to various organizations, even at various levels, whether in the district level, whether in the Thana level. We haven't been able to have the kind of not the feedback, but the results that we have been hoping for. So I feel that we need to have a relook at how we will be going about it, and maybe rethink and rework our approach towards tackling such issues.
Ma'am, you are the first female DGP of Meghalaya. So, what will be your focused area, and how do you see this?
Like I've said to other colleagues of yours, I don't think the female DGP is any criteria or qualification for being DGP. The fact of the matter is, I've put in more than 30 years of service. Uh, so DGP, I don't think female is anything like that. But yes, as one of the as a I hate this first thing business, but as a female officer, as a woman, I feel very strongly that women have a very different perspective, and I will try to use that perspective to ensure that women themselves feel much better. I mean, feel much safer, not better, much safer, and improve the accessibility which we have, which I know is very there's a lot of room for improvement on the accessibility of the police to the public.
Ma'am, as we've noticed that over the years, despite the efforts that have been made, however, we still see an increase in the crime against women. What exactly is the main problem here that we're looking at?
That's what I had mentioned earlier. We are trying to drill down and see and focus on what are the issues. What, because in some cases, in some districts, uh, we have seen an improvement. In some districts, we haven't. For example, take for us, we at one point of time we have been trying to identify the hotspots. At one point of time, it was Jaintia Hills, East Jaintia Hills more than anywhere else, and then this surprisingly West Khasi Hills. But West Khasi Hills, when we had focused on West Khasi Hills, the kind of a special team was constituted just to look into crime against women, especially POXO cases. It did show a lot of improvement, but somehow the momentum we've lost, and we need to have a, that's what like I was saying earlier, we need to have a relook and a rethink as to maybe there's something that we could do better. There are some things which we need to change, but that I would be able to talk about only after some time, not immediately.
Ma'am, you have approached the
Intelligence Bureau. So, what step will you take to improve the intelligent collection of the Meghalaya police?
When it comes to intelligence, we always feel that the less said, the better. So I would not like to comment on how we go about collecting our intelligence. But rest assured that intelligence is a focus area for us, and without intelligence, we will not be able to really do our duties to the extent that we would like to.
Ma'am, how do you see the law and order situation in the state?
Could be better. That is what we would strive to improve.
Ma'am, what will be your approach towards the drug menace in the state? How would you approach it?
That is a concern that we've been having a lot over, especially in the recent past. It's very disturbing, especially to me, because with my experience earlier in Jaintia Hills, and subsequently in East Khasi Hills, Shillong was usually a transit point, but now it's become a consumer, and despite all the seizures and everything we made, we've not really been able to make a dent into actually the supply system. There have been very commendable efforts by the ANTF in some cases, but in a number of cases we've not really taken I mean, we've not been able to take the action that we needed to take, and we've been faulted at a number of cases, a number of instances in court. Our cases have not held up, so that deterrence factor is not there. Yes, the drugs and the issue of drugs, especially the increasing crimes related because of the drug usage, especially amongst the youth and different sections of society. That is a concern which affects not only us, but it would affect not only our generation, but it would. I've seen the effect that drugs has on at least 2-3 generations after this also. So it's something that we need to work together very closely, not only with the law enforcement, the other agencies that are involved in the fight against drug, but also especially with the families and the society at large. But we would like to drill down to the families, because one thing I've noticed about us is we like to talk about it, but we don't really do much about it. And when it comes to my family, it's okay. No, it's not to be discussed.
The Social Welfare Minister, Paul, he had asserted the need to really stop the supply of drugs at the entry points to Meghalaya. What do you think of this?
That is only one of the aspects, I would say, as to how we would go about. I mean, how best to tackle the drug menace. Yes, if we could get them at the entry point, yes, there's nothing like it. But the fact of the matter is, we have a very porous thing, and and the national highway passes through Meghalaya, so there are limitations on the amount of checking you can do, and drugs is something that is so easy to conceal. So unless there's very specific information, even if we could be checking the right vehicle, but unless we know where to look, it's very difficult to.